Mathematically, a vector can be described in two ways. First, with polar notation, the vector is drawn on an x, y grid, and so you tell it how many units it is in the x direction and how many units it is in the y direction. In this case, we have 5 units in the x direction and no units in the y direction, giving us a polar notation of 5 plus j0. Rectangular notation, however, just gives us a magnitude, in this case 5, at an angular displacement 0. Vector B can be described as 1.25 on the x-axis and 2.17 on the y-axis. And rectangular can be described as 2.5 in length at an angle of 60 degrees. Now, to add these two vectors together, we cannot add the rectangular. You can't add these together. You can multiply them, but you cannot add them. So in order to add them, we have to at least convert to polar notation and then add these two together to come up with our final solution. Visually, to add these two vectors together, you would move the start of B to the end of A, and then the difference between the beginning of A and the end of B is your vector, and it should be 6.61 units in length at 19.11 degrees from our reference. Using these same two vectors, now let's subtract B from A. 1.25 from 5 is 3.75. 2.16 from 0 is a minus j 2.16. And we convert that back here and we have 4.33 at minus 30 degrees. Now that just so happens to be the difference between B and A. That is the same numbers. And if we now move this to our beginning, we have A minus B. And of course, here's our A plus B, using just these two vectors.